Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry I'm doing my live a little bit later today, but I just had a couple of things that I was doing and I knew I was going to be late, so I thought I'd let you guys know in advance. So apologies for being late. So thank you so much for being here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nazia Dad and I am a toxic relationship recovery coach, and I am here today to talk to you about self-worth and what is self-worth. So if you guys are watching, feel free to send me a wave or say hello, show me some love, put some notes in the comments so I know that you're here. Hey Lisa. And if you're watching on the replay, please put in hashtag replay so I know that who's been watching, and if there's any feedback that I can give you, feel free to leave some comments and I'll get back to you. But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about what is self-love, and I'm really passionate about this because it's a topic that I think a lot of us struggle with, and we don't always identify why we don't love ourselves. What are the reasons that we don't love ourselves? Hi Lisa, thanks for being here. So if there's anybody else watching, please feel free to leave it in the comments, because I'm just trying to catch names, but I can't always see who's watching. But yeah, so today's all about self-love, and what I'd like to do in today's topic is talk about what self-love is, and then talk about some issues to do with self-love, and then what we can do to make sure that we have a better relationship with ourselves and we can work on building self-love. Okay, just before I go on, I just want to let you guys know every Mondays I do a live here on my profile, but I have now opened a free Facebook group, Step Into Your Self-Worth, and what I will be doing as of next week, I will be doing my lives in my group. So if you guys want to continue watching, and if you like my message, you like what I've got to say, give me a, let me know and I'll add you to my group. It's all about, again, growing your self-worth. Great to see you here, Malgorazata. I know you told me last time how to pronounce it, but I've got it wrong. But great to see you as well, Liliana. Happy that you guys are here. So let's go straight into it. Self-worth. Okay. So again, I'm just looking down a little bit, making sure that I've got all my notes there and that we don't kind of miss any points. Okay. So just talking about, well, what is self-worth? It's how we feel about ourselves and how we feel that we kind of fit into the role of our own identity in society. Hey Liliana. So it's just how we see our own being, how we present ourselves, how we view ourselves, how we place ourselves in society, what role we play, how confident we feel. How do we feel that we are blending in? Do we stand out? Do we stay in the shadows? And I tend to find that obviously a lot of you guys know my background. It's a toxic relationship background. And I tend to find that a lot of women tend to shy away from the limelight or the spotlight after being in these relationships. And their self-worth is normally plummeting to the ground. Hey Dina, great to have you here. So when you come at these relationships, self-worth is almost like, what's that? I don't have no self-worth at the moment. My self-esteem is zero at the moment. I don't feel like I'm worthy of anything at the moment. And it takes time to be able to build that up and get yourself to that safe headspace where you feel that you're worthy. Okay. So basically I've actually created a 8-week program. It's called 8 Weeks to Skyrocket Your Self-Confidence. And it's kind of evolved because I've just been speaking to so many women through our coaching sessions. It just comes up that self-worth is something that comes up time and time again. So I'll be speaking a little bit more about that later, but it's like an aftermath of coming out of a relationship or just wanting to work on your own self-identity and elevating who you feel that you are as a person and where you want to get to. Okay, so couple of things about self-worth. I mean, how could we identify, have I got good self-worth? Do I feel worthy? How do I feel about myself? One of the traits that I tend to find a lot that comes up is self-doubt. So when you're doubting yourself and you're thinking, I don't know if I really made that decision, was it correct? Should I get a second opinion? I'm not really sure. And you're kind of like looking for external validation from other people because you don't really trust your own opinions. Okay, so that kind of makes it like it's like a red light saying, I don't find myself worthy enough to be able to trust what I have to say or how I feel. And again, sometimes when you come at these relationships, you feel grinded down to the point where you just don't believe in yourself no more. And it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be a parental relationship. It could be with a work colleague. It could be with friends. I wasn't going to bring this in, but I'm going to bring this in. So quite recently, I had a friend who I've known for quite a long time, and I thought we were very, really good friends, and we've known each other for years. We don't often talk, but when we do, the sparks are always there. We just pick up where we left off. And then there came to a point where she just ghosted me, basically. A couple of times ghosted me. So I was just at the place where I made it clear, and I said, listen, I don't appreciate your behaviour. I don't appreciate being ghosted. I wouldn't tolerate it from anybody else. So I'm just reaching out to you and letting you know I'm not going to tolerate it from you. And then it subsided, the situation went forward, and then she did it again. And then at that point, I had to make a decision. Yes, I love this person to bits. It's someone who I find very close to my heart. She's one of my very, very good friends. However, I'm sorry, but I am deserving of someone who treats me with respect. I was deserving of someone who, as a friend, would see me worthy enough not to ghost me and to reply to my messages. And whatever her reasons might be, you should just come back and be a bit more tactful about it. But that's just a situation, to give you an example, where I realised that, no, I'm sorry, but you're violating my boundaries. You're violating my self-worth, and I need to make a stand because I think I am worthy and I am deserving of more. I don't know if my screen's frozen. Let me know if you guys can still see me. If I feel as though I've not heard anything from anyone, so I'm thinking, I know there's people watching. Send me a heart, send me something. I just want to make sure that my screen's still live, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Okay. Up until then, I'll just keep going. Hey Blossom, great to have you here. Yep, great. I've got some likes there, so fantastic. Okay, screen's not frozen. So going back to that self-doubt. So when you feel that you're at that place where you're just not sure about making decisions, and that probably means that you've got that you need that external validation from somebody else to say, am I doing the right thing, basically? So that's one of the traits that kind of comes up quite a lot when it comes to like feeling self-doubt. Okay. Struggling with boundaries. Now, this is something that is a red flag straight away. If you are struggling with boundaries, if you are struggling to implement boundaries, if people are pushing your boundaries, then it's going to be straight away a red flag for you to say that you don't feel worthy enough to implement them. Just going back to my example, the minute that I felt violated, I flagged that situation up to my friend. I said, I'm not happy with this situation. I don't deserve to be in this situation, and we need to make a change. And the second time it happened, it's like, that's it. Just cut the contact, because I don't have time or space in my life for people that are going to violate my boundaries. When we don't feel worthy enough, we almost overlook how people treat us. And this happens a lot in relationships. And this is one of the reasons why and I find a lot of my clients have been in these situations. You'll come out from one relationship, you'll find that you're almost like, it's like putting on a plaster on your wounds, and you just think, yep, I've healed, and I'm going to move on to the next one. And then you find that you're kind of in a toxic relationship again. And then you come out from that one and think, right, I've done the groundwork now, I know what I'm doing, I'm moving forward. And then you find yourself falling into the same pattern of another toxic relationship. And you can't always identify what the reasoning is behind it. And usually it comes down to how you feel about your self-worth and what your boundaries are, and how you feel that you are you worthy? Are you worthy enough of that relationship to be able to make a stand and to implement healthy boundaries? Okay, so when you feel as though people are kind of at that situation where they're walking all over you, basically, and you don't feel that you've got that voice to say, I'm sorry, but I wish I could say no, but I just can't. Why not? We need to find that why. We need to dig deep and think, well, what are the reasons that you are feeling this way? And there could be many reasons. I've realized again, when I tend to look at my notes, I kind of, go to a different direction. But when I just be naturally just me, there's so much more that I want to share with you guys. But a lot of it kind of comes down to validation. How do you feel that you fit in with the world? When, as a child, were you validated by your parents? And I know this comes up in a lot of my lives, but were you validated by family members? Do you feel that you had to gain their approval? So when you come into these relationships, what happens is you're looking for the approval from these people to validate you. And then you're looking for them to almost give you the green light to say, hey, do you know what? Do you want a little bit of love today? Yep, that's fine. But I'm going to withhold it for the next 90 days. And then maybe once in a while when I feel like it, I'll give you a couple of breadcrumbs. And you accept that because you know they're violating your boundaries, but inside you don't feel that you're worthy of more. So you settle with that relationship. And then you might, come out of that relationship for whatever the reasons might be. And you might go head straight into the next one, expecting that that's normal behavior, feeling familiar in that environment, and then straight away not feeling worthy enough to want more, to deserve more, and accepting less. And this is what I am so passionate about. This is why I've created my program. I've already got people that are enrolled on it, and they're doing amazing. The transition of the transformation is just unbelievable, because when you start aligning yourself to what are the reasons why you feel the way you are, and I really dig deep, it's not easy working with me, because I really need to make sure that I can create something in you that's going to create a change, because I want to break the cycle. I don't want you to a next relationship being doing the same thing again. I want to be able to give you something that you can work with and identify and to realign yourself, and that is your self-worth. That is what I want to give you. I want to give you the gift of you feeling that you are worthy enough. Just going back to some of the signs of feeling self, why we feel that we don't have enough self-worth. I've got Blossom saying, I hear you, exactly. This is not just you, Blossom, and this is not just me. This is, I'll be honest with you, the majority of the community that I connect with feels the same way. I was there once, and I know what it's like when you are feeling that you're at rock bottom, and it's almost like you feel like you're being judged as well, and that's a really heavy thing to be carrying around. You don't want to completely voice how you're feeling, because there's that fear of that person might judge me. They might think, well, why did you not just walk away? They don't know the intensity of what your reasoning was, or what your codependency or attachment issues were, or why you couldn't walk away. But people are very quick to judge, and they don't always realize that there's a deeper reason why we stay, and that usually is because we don't feel that we're worthy enough, and we don't feel that we're deserving enough. And this is what I really want to break, this habit. But that judgment is something that comes up. It raises ugly head a lot in a lot of conversations that I have. And this is why I created the group. I wanted to be a safe space for people to be able to voice their concerns and be able to have feedback and be able to connect together and be in a community where there's no judgment. There's just compassion, and there's just encouragement, and there's just that inspiration to be able to find your inner being that's going to make you feel good and make you feel worthy. Okay, so just going back to recognizing how you don't feel worthy. Your inner critic, and I know I talk about her a lot, but your inner critic is one of the people that are really going to make you feel that you're not good enough. She's going to tell you time and time again, oh, you can't do that. You're not good enough to do that. I mean, who do you think you are? And you're going to fail, because we don't always succeed first time. You might fail, you might jump, you might fall out of the first hurdle. But guess what? You'll get up, and you'll get back up, and you'll go on again, and you'll make the next hurdle, and and you'll keep going forward. And it's almost like it's a mountain. You're trying to move a mountain overnight. It's not going to happen. Take every day step by step. Really identify and align you to where you need to be, and you keep taking days step by step, and before you know it, you'll look back in a week and that mountain's already started moving. But it didn't happen overnight. So give yourself a break. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't feel that you have to be perfect. You don't have to be 100%. And this is another thing that comes up in feeling worthy. Unless we feel that we're on our game, unless we feel that we are worthy of being just the best version of who we can be, we sometimes are our own worst critic, and we almost kind of put that pressure on ourselves to say, well, you're not good enough. You're not superwoman, and that means that you're not worthy enough, and that means that you're not deserving enough, and therefore you try even harder, and you just try pleasing people. You just try and kind of like do everything to run around everybody else. And in doing that, we almost kind of lose our own identity, and we don't feel that we're deserving. And then we just take the back seat, and life moves forward, and everybody else moves forward with it. And we just keep giving and giving and giving, and our self-worth just goes down to zero. Okay. Also, social media plays a massive role. There was a time not so long ago, I'm going to think back now, how long ago was this? 4 weeks? No, 6 weeks ago. I could not bear the thought of putting myself in front of a camera, in front of receiving that judgment. I didn't mind doing kind of meetings. That was brilliant. I loved it. But actually doing a live and being able to put myself forward, it's only something that I've started in the last 6 weeks or so. It terrified me because I was afraid of the judgment. I was afraid of what people would think of me. Am I worthy enough to present what I have and to give my message to these people? And it wasn't that I was looking for that validation externally, because I knew that I've got what it takes. But it was almost just that fear of judgment and what people would say. But I had to step into my power. I had to step into my own worthiness and tell myself and my own critic, I am not going to go forward in life with that mindset. I need to change the way I'm thinking. If I'm going to be able to help and support all these women and be able to make transformations in their lives, then I need to do a live, and I need to connect with you guys, and I need to speak my truth to you guys and allow you to be able to connect with me. And the only way that I could do that was to remind myself that I am worthy enough to be able to give myself wholeheartedly, face my fear, conquer my fear. I'm getting some messages. I'm so thankful that you fought your fear. Oh, thank you. I'm thankful as well, because I had this fear of a live. Oh my God, I don't want to put myself out there. And it was that fear, but I had to know that I am worthy, I am deserving, and I have to shut down my inner critic and say, listen, right, you need to take a back seat, because the badass Nazia is here, and she is here, and she's going to make some noise, and she's going to let the world know that I've got a message, and I want you guys to share it with me, and I want to see if I can empower you, because I was at a stage in my life where I was in a really dark place. And I want to be able to support them women who were in that dark place as well, who were in that place of feeling unworthy and feeling that they're small and feeling unheard and not knowing how to be able to move forward. I want to pick you guys up, and I don't want to stop at me. I want you to go above, and beyond, and achieve your dreams and your goals and aspirations and whatever they might just be. And I want to shut down your inner critic. I want you to be able to feel that you can connect to the woman that you deserve to be. So, going off topic, like I tend to do, let's go back to today's live. Okay, so some of the things that I want you to do to be able to feel that you are worthy is, don't ask yourself, because sometimes we can easily ask ourselves and say, hey, what have I done? What am I great at? And sometimes we can just look in the mirror and think, nothing. I can't think of anything. What do I like about myself? I can't think of anything, although everybody else can see so much more than you can. So I would say someone that you're close to, someone that you have a good relationship with, someone that you know is going to be honest with you, and someone that's your cheerleader, or just someone that you know is going to be giving you the inspiration that you need. I want you to ask them. I want you to connect with them and let them tell you, what is it? What are your good qualities? What do you have that you give to the world? What have you achieved? Where have you been in life? Are you a mum? Are you a businesswoman? Are you an artist? Do you enjoy creative writing? Do you enjoy cooking? What are your skills? What is it that you bring to this world that you can't see, but this person can? Let them tell you what you are good at. Let them tell you how beautiful you are. Let them show you the world through their eyes, because they can see what you can't always see. And let them remind you how worthy you are, because that will give you that inspiration that you need to be able to push yourself forward. And that kind of creates space, just to make space to create, that make an allowance for you to say, well, I can't be that bad if they feel that way. And naturally you'll feel that bubble of worth bubble up inside you. And then you add on to that, write down things about how you feel about yourself. Look in the mirror and think, well, okay, I might not feel attractive, I might not feel pretty, I might not feel that I'm looking good, or whatever it might be. I don't feel as though I've got anything to offer the world, but I'm a damn good cook. That's something. I'll be honest with you, I'm not the greatest cook. In fact, I was just messaging someone the other day and I was saying, hey, I feel I've achieved something, because the first time in my life I made a chicken and cheese pie. And my kids were like, Mom, that's delicious, And my kind of confidence hit the ceiling. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this again. And now I've got a couple that I'm going to be making the next couple of days, thinking, but I had to start from somewhere. And this is it. Sometimes we have to start from somewhere. We have to start from somewhere to be able to build our foundations and to be able to build them up. Okay. Don't look for validation in other people. Just before I move forward, I'm just going to read something that Blossom has just written. I started telling myself I'm just as worthy as anyone else. And if it doesn't work out, I move on. And because I move on because hearing no is okay, and everyone is told no at one time or another. Then I say it wasn't meant for me, and I move on. Thank you, Blossom. Absolutely. Beautifully said. You have to remember, in life, you're not always going to hear a yes. You're going to hear knockbacks, you're going to get no's, you're going to get... But whatever they are, they're not for you. But something better is waiting for you. So allow yourself to say, no, that's not for me. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to keep walking my road and carving my path in this world, because something will be waiting for me. Just like me doing these lives, I was terrified of them, and now I love them. I actually love coming on here every week and engaging with you guys, and it really lights me up, and it builds up my confidence when I get this engagement from you guys, when I get these messages from you guys. In the same way, if I had given up and thought, no, I can't do that, I'm just going to stay small, no, I'm just going to stay in my box, I wouldn't have been here today, and I wouldn't be sharing with you guys today, and I would not be able to be, meeting so many amazing people that I'm meeting today. So great point, Blossom. I really appreciate that. But yeah, validation. Okay. As a child, we often seek out approval, validation from our caregivers and from our parents. As we get older, if we don't feel worthy enough, we then very often look for that validation, look for that approval, look for that person to tell us that we are worthy enough, that we are good enough. And then it becomes a power struggle, because people can easily abuse that. And especially in toxic relationships, people unfortunately are predators that are looking for women like us, who are empathetic, who want to give everything, who want to give wholeheartedly, who are willing to commit 100% and put themselves second best. Because it's an easy game to play. The power struggle, there is no power struggle. You're just going to give all your power away because you're looking for that validation from that person. And there's people out there that are just looking and searching and seeking people that they can just manipulate. And I do not want you guys to be one of them. I do not want your next relationship to go down that same road. I want you to go down to your next relationship, or whatever, that validation is that you're seeking for, whatever reason it might be. I want you to be a badass woman who thinks, no, I'm sorry, but this is not for me. I can spot the red flags. I can see the boundaries. I can see they're being violated. I can see straight away who you are. I can see right through you. And like Blossom said, no, keep walking, because something better is waiting for you. So when you give that validation to somebody else, there's a chance that they're going to violate it. If you get to that space when you speak to your inner critic, you talk to yourself and you allow yourself to say, I'm going to validate myself. I am going to move forward in the world, and I'm going to just let me be my own cheerleader. And for many years, this is exactly what I did. I had people saying to me, oh, you don't want to break free, you don't want to move away, you don't want to leave your kids in school clubs while you go and further your career, and you go and work your backside off, to make your mark in the world. But I did, and I could easily have had an easy life, but I chose the difficult route. But now it's all paid off. But if I had listened to these people and I had been validated by what they were saying to me, I would not be where I am today. So sometimes we've got to push through the boundaries and say to ourselves, we know our dreams, we know our visions, we know that we are worthy of so much more, and we want to get there. So don't let people box you in. Don't let people keep you small. The only validation that you need is yours, and the only approval that you need is yours. And that will allow you to make that space to be able to grow your self-esteem and to be able to grow your self-worth. Okay, I'm just going to keep an eye on the time. Wow, it's been half an hour again. I just, honestly, when I come on these lives and I speak to you guys, something just bubbles up inside me that I've just got so much information that I just want to release, that time flies. So I apologize, it's gone a little bit over again, but yeah, send me a message if you guys want any more information. I have got my 8-week program, how to 8 weeks to skyrocket your self-confidence. The core principle of that is to identify and acknowledge what your struggles are. I individualize it to everyone's individual needs. What do they, I look at who you are and where you want to get to. And then we kind of create a structure to get you from A to B. And it's looking at validating your worthiness, escalating your self-confidence, getting you to that place where you feel confident in your decision making and passionate about being able to move forward with clarity. And if this is something that you guys want to work with me, I would love for you to be part of that community. I've got people that are on there and the transformations are amazing. I'll probably put a couple more up next week so you guys can get a bit more of an idea of how it's working. But I would love to be able to support you guys and to work with you and to make that transition for you, because it's like a band-aid. We don't want to just band-aid our problems, because when we go to the next relationship, the plaster comes off and the same problems emerge, and you've just wasted time and investment, and the cycle continues. We want to break that cycle, and we want to see what can we do to be able to move forward. So guys, 8 weeks to skyrocket your self-confidence. Send me a message with the word rocket and I will give you some more information about it, and we can move forward and look at how we can skyrocket your self-confidence. Okay, so if you guys have got any questions, send me a personal message and I'll get back to you. I'll scroll through the messages in a short while, and I just want to say thank you guys for being here. I don't always know who it is, but I can see there's Dina and Blossom and Corina. I'm not really sure. Let me make sure I pronounce the name correctly. No, Lisa, sorry, my apologies, Lisa. But thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are my cheerleaders. You are all my cheerleaders, and I would love to be able to help you guys to move forward in the next chapter in your lives. Okay, all right guys, thank you again for being here. If you've got any questions, just send me a personal message and I'll catch up with you. Oh, back to my group again. So from next week, just remember, I won't be doing lives on my Facebook profile no more. It will be in my group. Step into your self-worth. If you want to be part of that community, it's amazing, it's exciting, there's going to be a lot of things happening there. Let me know and I'll add you to the group. Okay guys, take care. Have the rest of your day. Enjoy it, whatever you might be doing. It's a little bit late over here, so I'm just going to go have dessert now. I've just had dinner and I'm going to go have dessert. It's waiting for me downstairs. All right guys, take care and thanks for being here. Take care now. Bye. Do you know, I can never end these lives. There we go.